I think the current economic situation will definitely have an impact on entrepreneurship. I think it could potentially be twofold. There are some real positives. There are also some real negatives. I think it's maybe yet to be determined depending on how long-lasting the existing situation kind of continues. But I think in the short term, it will definitely have an impact. I think if it extends for any meaningful amount of time, it will also have an impact in the longer term. But I think it's a little bit of it can kind of be looked at two very different ways. And one way is that there is no doubt a talent boom right now for early stage companies as you start to have, for example, like Wall Street banks, downsizing. There is a flood of talent that are really some of the smartest minds in the world who are now going to be available for or who may be looking to start their own thing. And so I think there will be, actually probably a push for more new company starts in a lot of areas. One of the things we know from research we've done at the foundation is that layoffs in big companies lead to more startup companies. And it makes a lot of sense, right? You have no job and you're trained as a plumber or you're trained as a banker, you're trained as anything. You have the opportunity, especially in the United States, you have the opportunity to go and start something new and really make a way for yourself and your family, and you can employ people. And so I think there'll be a huge amount of talent in the market and available for early stage companies. I think there is going to be some strains on early stage companies who are, looking to extend credit lines and things like that. I mean, I think if you look back, and maybe this is more extreme, but post 9/11, there were a lot of young companies that really ran into a wall because there wasn't credit available. And so I do think there will be an impact there. But I largely think if you're talking about having the potential to birth the next great thing, it could be quite positive for the world of early stage companies. Are people born an entrepreneur? They made an entrepreneur? Can you teach entrepreneurship? And I know definitely, like people who if you did a genetic test and didn't have an entrepreneur gene, they become entrepreneurs when the situation is right. You absolutely can choose to make a career out of starting companies, out of building companies, or being an entrepreneur inside of an existing company where you basically are a professional agitator, if nothing else, where you're kind of forcing that company down the path of change. That is something that people can choose. It is something that they can be taught to some degree, but definitely they can choose.